yes, this is the Hole in My Heart production breakdown live stream. Yeah. So here we are with all that. So I'm going to go through how I made this song. Maybe I'll talk about how I wrote it a little bit. And then we'll just kind of just see if anybody has questions. But I'm just going to go through like each section of it, just kind of part by part, one part at a time. So let's just play how it sounds. Because obviously, you know, I had someone else mix this. And they did their thing on it. And it definitely made, you know, it sound like finally ready to be released and stuff. But I got it pretty good on my end before I even sent it off. So here's like the chorus of it, and you know, this is just what it looks like in my session. Yep. All right, I'm going to stop it there. So, yeah, that's how it sounds. So one of the key things I want to just bring up at the beginning of this stream, just you may have noticed how I produced it. We have an acapella at the top right here that's literally all the vocals. And that's how I produced around it. I wouldn't normally do that, but the key thing that happened was, you may notice, this says 90 BPM. We bumped it to 94. We didn't retrack vocals. Perhaps we should have, but we didn't. And it sounds fine. Sounds out. So all of this up here is just everything. And then below is like the original vocals, which actually I was able to speed up just for the sake of like using in this video. So this is just everything all put together. Wish I could make the hurting stop. I shouldn't let it break me up. I got a hole in my heart. It tears me apart. The hole in my heart, yeah. Okay, so that's everything. Let's just look down here because I just want to start with the vocals and then I'm just going to go into the track. So here's the vocals down here. Nellie's original vocals. Let's see. Mute that. And I mean, it's going to sound the same, but the keys here are just to look at the arrangements. We got lead vocal, double left, double right. We got harmonies on the pre-chorus and chorus and some ad-libs down there. We have a vocoder in the chorus and in the build and the drop. And then I did this fun thing with a delay throw. So let's just go through it. I mean, the doubles, I don't really have to talk about those. You know, triple track is pretty standard. Let's look at the harmonies real quick. We have this going on in the free and the chorus. So please forgive me for my love language. Yeah. I'm begging for your words of affirmation. So we got that. I got a hole in my heart, a hole in my heart. It tears me apart, and now I'm falling apart. So what's really funny is that actually one of those is me. Yeah, I made it on the record. Yeah. So we got one from me and you know, one from Nellie. It's just 3 parts in total, and then again, I think it's like knowing now what maybe I wasn't doing as much then. I would have double tracked both of those so that they could be left right. I think I just did like a stereo delay just to go, you know, quick left right. Yeah, just to like artificially give it stereo. And then just the chain is regular. I guess I'll pull this over for Instagram. Chain, pretty standard. Some tuning, get rid of the noise, EQ, compression. I would probably use a 2A at this point. I have a 3A on there right now. Saturation, something for the high end, get rid of some S's and, you know, sibilants, soothe it out with soothe, CLA vocals. It's kind of funny. Vocal rider, yeah, I don't know. Some of these I don't always dive for those these days, but I did on this. Okay, for the vocoder. I am just using Isotope Vocal Synth and just doing a little bit of processing. I got a hole in my heart, a hole in my heart. It tears me apart and now I'm Cool. I think it's crackling just because of the, what do you call it? The record enable. Because it doesn't normally do that. Okay. And then we got some ad libs. Just kind of throughout, you know, this kind of stuff. Let's see here. We got like super, you know, regular, typical stuff. I'm getting some like latency. I'm just trying to see maybe what I can do about that. And it's a little crackly, but whatever. I'm gonna power through it. So we got that. I'm gonna put these all up so you can hear. Oh, and actually, before I do that, let me talk about the delay throw. Hole in my heart. It's just like chilling. It's really just the regular vocal chain plus H delay plus just a little EQ treatment and an extra verb. Bust out to actually little alter boy on these delay throws. Probably just like low octave, high octave. Let's hear it by itself. Tears me apart, the hole in my heart. Etc. Okay, etc. So we got a little ping pong delay, and we're just, you know, set that to just keep that thing going. It's pretty cool. It eats up that like dead space before the drop. If I play it, you'll notice. Oh, with everything. Sorry. Cool. So yeah, it just kind of eats up some good stuff, which is super dope. And those ad libs are just going to continue. Let me go up here just real quickly in the pre-chorus, just the second one, I think. We did some oohs or ahs, and we stacked those. So let's just hear that by itself. Let's hear these by themselves. Please forgive me for my love language. I'm begging for your words of affirmation. Oh, 'cause I'm so sorry. I did not delete that thing in the middle. But it's fine because you couldn't really hear it in the whole recording. But yeah, we just got some call and response, you know, harmonized, just kind of built around the chords we were working with and those like spaces right here. You know, all typical stuff. Yeah, same old harmonies. Probably left myself in there. Okay, I think that's pretty much honestly going to wrap it on vocals because it's not a super complicated arrangement. The delay throw is cool, ad-libs are cool, vocoder's cool. Yeah, that's basically it. So let's go into the track now and check some of that stuff out. I'm debating whether to leave the vocals on. Maybe I'll mute them to start. I can bring them back in if I want to. Okay, so here we are with our track. Okay, let's check this guy out. I'm gonna go section by section. So in the intro, you can see several pads. I think we got some, you know, honestly, what we're doing in the intro is we're calling out like some of the stuff that would be later in the song. We pulled that, you know, that like drop kind of sound and put that in the intro. We used one of the pads that comes in later just to make that. And then the Dream Dancer thing over here, actually, Nellie found in the thumb bass. It's same story. Those were actually from her. So she gave it to me with those, and I just kind of left them. Same with the guitar as well. That's going to come in the verse. Those are all things that she had. Cymbal transition, just to like kind of get it in there. So that's really it. I mean, I can isolate them, but that's kind of it. So we got, you know, pad. I'm gonna go in and talk about that drop chop, but yeah, we got those two things that make it up. This art, which Nellie found. Bass as well. This is very funny. She played this as chords, but it's like kind of got this interesting like fills out the low mids thing to it. It's like, oh, well, and let's open up automation. So all these are being filtered up with the frequency, just so you can kind of see like they're all just kind of coming from nothing, getting swept up, everything that's happening there. So that's what gives it that like sweep up effect. It's just using an EQ and, automating and filtering kind of that up, revealing all the high end. Okay, to the verse. Let's see here. Just get everything going here. I stop muting stuff. I'm gonna lose track. Verse. Here we are. I think this is pretty simple. So those are from Nellie. I might have just changed voicings, but that's from her. I added these drums right here. This loop. I think the kicks are actually from her. At least that particular kick sample. And yeah, I just think we wanted a really tropical kind of vibe, just a lighthearted kind of dancey thing going on. So the whole thing was just in pursuit of that. So let's, listen to how this goes into the pre. Can hear Nellie on the guitar take. Okay, we're in our pre. So the pad comes in. Cool. So these transitions, they're kind of annoying. It's takes a while to do them and all, but you just kind of finesse it until you like it. So we got a tambourine reversing, impact on the downbeat, and then halfway through the chorus is going to be more. Chorus is super sparse initially because it's really just all eaten up by the vocal. Put the vocal on. So, 2 bars of nothing, then 2 bars where the rest comes in. So everyone comes in. I did kind of just make it, you'll see in the automation, I had to make it so we just got the guitar hits and tried to avoid the bleed from the microphone a little bit. Okay, and what comes in there? So guitar, which you can hear, this guy. I might actually have to solo this. Hold on. So those 4 things. The regular synth is the same. Keeps doing its thing. And then down here, those are actually strings. They're mislabeled. So those are strings, and then this is probably the piano underneath them. So 2 things together kind of doing that. And even that original bass sound that Nellie found and played chords with is in there too. Cool. And then transitions are all, cymbal, tambourine thing, Kishmer stuff. And we got a little build here, and a big white noise rise. Okay, we're getting there. Not to blue ball everybody. Okay, so pad comes back in halfway through, transition, big thing into it. And then some drums. Yeah, that loop I found earlier in the kicks. Little transition with all this stuff with the rise. All right. So sweet. Yeah, it's just a lot of this stuff, it's going to be sad because it's going to be I didn't actually make some of this stuff. I found it on Splice. That loop is just so good. So that's super dope. And then this fill is just perfect for what I was going for. A huge timbali fill. And all I did was put reverb on it. It just needed a lot of reverb. So it's just one reverb just going crazy. Big wet dry. Cool. And then this is the meat and potatoes. This is probably why everybody even wants to watch this thing in the first place. The drop of the song. Here we go. Cool. All right. Let's go element by element. So here's the drums. Sick. So, yeah, it's just all putting it all together to create this groove. I think my favorite thing about this is like, I feel like that reggaeton, like this perk right here, it just might be a hair off the grid because I really like how it's just like, it just gives that like, I don't know, that like lilt. Let me see by itself. All right, hold on. Turn the snare off. That's just kicking the reggaeton. That's every beat ever. It's cool. 2 kicks, top and bottom. So let me start over here. Bottom one, top one. Put them together. Nice. Just a nice kick. And then we got 2 snares. I like that one's like kind of pre-shifted. It's a little behind, you know, it just kind of goes into itself a little bit. It sounds like it's layered already, too. It's like a clap and a snare. It's probably Oliver. I'm almost guaranteeing it. And then this one, like it could also be Oliver, that one, too. But it's just a different kind of clap. So together, we get, yeah, just like nice and big, full snare, clap, snare, whatever. The reggaeton perk. And then these hats are hilarious. As you can see, I just like programmed it in and played a bunch of different hats. Like nothing that a drummer would ever play, but it was for the variation of like texture, and it had a little bit of like that accent, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Plus a few more loops. One was Tennyson, and one was the one I've been using for the rest of the song. Yeah, so that one's just kind of like doubling with the hats. It's the same thing. So we get 2 layers of that. And the reggaeton loop. Okay, all right, that's it on drums, and then let's move up in layers 2. Oh, this is so good. The brass. That is just so good. It is serum and reverb. That is like it. Let's see here. This is from the Echo Soundworks Gray Pack, the drop stab. Yeah, it just sounds insane. Yep, so that's just in there. It's plus reverb. For those of you who know me and work with me, this is like one of the only reverbs I like to use because I don't have to do almost anything. It just immediately sounds good. So without, it's not even really doing much in this case. It's like a 20%. Just a little more tail. Okay. Also, by the way, anybody who wants to be in this chat right now, feel free to ask questions. I'm going to be like, ask me questions. But I guess you might just need to hear it before you even have questions to ask. So we got brass. And then low mids over here. We're continuing with the all this stuff from before that we already heard. That plus the brass is crazy. Hold on. I'm just going to like get all 3 of those things going. So strings, keys, brass. It's just insane. I kind of regret not making this bass thing like hit like at the same time. That was just like a lazy mistake. Like it's not very noticeable because it's not very loud, but it should have probably been lined up. Okay, going on. I have no time. Lots of just like, let's see. I think this thing is doing percussive duties a little bit. It's a guitar muted thing from Omnisphere. Sounds like this. Yeah. Just an Omnisphere preset. Really good just for adding like movement of sorts. It is called Lil Bouncer Strat Pick. Yeah, just adds that little momentum and movement. Regular guitar's in there too, just doing the same thing. That was just as Nellie recorded it. Okay, arps and, oh, the all-important actual melody of the drop. 2 layers. All right, cool. So what's going on with that? Serum on the mallets. Getting the delay from Serum, that's built in there. I didn't actually add that. So that one's just hanging. And then on top of that, we have the like vocally one on top. So yeah, what's cool about these is just like making them work together. As you can tell, there was sort of multiple notes, multiple melodies, and just like finding just interesting ways to like have a little like, I don't know, counterpoint or something going on with that. And then yeah, putting that delay just kept that momentum going. I had to put delay on this other one. So let's see what's going on like at the core. We just put them together with maybe like the brass, because this is like what's important. This is stuff that makes it. Right, so I'm just building it up so you can hear it, you know. So it just kicks, and then kicks, and then kick the reggaeton shit. That's most of it. I think the only thing that was missing was like the pad just to like fill in the low mids. I mean, these other elements I'm muting, but like, oh, and this for rhythm too, so. I put it all in. Like it's mostly for low mid stuff. Yeah. This pad up here is from Serum. This guy. Let's see what we got here, because I like this pad so much, I gotta remember it. Where did that come from? I just don't even know. It's a preset of some kind. It is from the pads. It's built into Serum. That's crazy, because I have a lot of presets. It's too many. But that's a built-in one. And it sounds great. I don't have to do anything. I think. Sometimes I look at my automation stuff. Yeah, we always make this point. It's very important. Whenever you have like cutouts and stuff, you can kind of see, like right before the drop, we cut the volume. It's very important to give your track that space. I even do it on, where is it? It's like way down here. I even do it on the sends. These four right here are on sends. Like cut the reverb out too, you know, to like really get silent if you need it to. Or cut to, you know, with the delay, if a delay is like bothering you, cut that out. It's just good to automate that stuff. I don't really do too much else with automation. You know, you get a good volume level, you do your cuts, and if you filter stuff up, like I was shown in the intro, also see in like the second verse, we'll talk about it, there's some filtering. So that's about it in terms of what I do with automation for the most part. All right, so that's kind of the whole drop, honestly. It sounds pretty dope. I'm just thinking if there was any other thing, like, not really. I mean, there's a crash from Jason Evigan on the drop. It's just you know, the whooshy thing. All right, onward to the second verse. All right, the star of the show here is the entry of this new thing from Omnisphere right here. String plucks. Whew, sounds so good. I mean, come on. So this is Omnisphere. That is the Turkish. I don't really know how to pronounce that. Kumbus? I don't know. I'm not going to try. But it's just a really cool thing that I found, like a Turkish guitar. Yeah, it is great. I don't know why I rated this 2 stars. It should be 5. It's absolute gold. It reminds me a lot of, if any of y'all know it's a Shawn Mendes song, you know, it's like, there's nothing holding me back. It literally sounds like it's that sound. So there you go. I might have found that preset. A Turkish Kumbus. Cool, so we got to fill into the second half of it. I mean, the rest of it's the same. You know, this is from Nellie, the Dream Dancer and the thumb bass. That's Nellie, and then the drums are from me minus, I mean, I did the kick, I guess. It's kind of from her. Yeah, so groove's the same. Keep the groove going, why not? So again, this is what we were working with already. And all I'm doing is really just doubling that with the string. Okay, and then we get halfway through, we just have like this little transition melody. And then we have new keys in the second half. So that the transition thing's like two things layered. Fake guitar from Serum, I'm gonna bet it's like from the Chainsmoker pack or the Gray pack from Echo Soundworks. And then this is from Analog Lab. Analog Lab. Yeah, it kind of sounds like a Rhodes. I don't know. It just has, I put extra verb on it as well, just to get that. There's another one kind of at the end of this section, going into the pre as well. It's just different melody, but it's the same idea. Yeah, you know, whatever. Okay, and then yes, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the keyscape. The keyscape keyboard here. This is the, like, what is it? The Crystal Wash? Something like that. It's the JD800. Classic. It's like the Sting keyboard, the Juice WRLD keyboard. You know, like yeah, so it's that keyboard. This is a JD800 Crystal Wash. And it's just holding it together on this, you know, sneaky, but holding it together. I'll put the logo on.
Letting me know that don't need to question. So please forgive me for my
Alright, just kicks.
language.
And a white noise sweep.
Begging for your words of affirmation. 'Cause I got a hole in my heart.
Cool. So, you know, second pre, pretty similar to the first one, just with drums. Yeah, it's basically everything the first one had. Actually, you know what? It goes to just kicks. That's the difference. So it goes to just kicks. Everything else about it is the same. And actually, it has the white noise riser because we're later in the song. So we got a little white noise, and we got a little extra one kind of right into the chorus as well from down here. Cool. Just, you know, transitions. All right. Vocoder, same thing happens. You know, I honestly think we copy-pasted this. The only thing I think that's different is I put the JD keys in the second half of this chorus. You know, they weren't in the first half. Now they're in the second half. Otherwise, looks identical to the first one. I think it is the same. So drop happens. This was cool. This was, I think, I don't know if this is my idea or Nellie's idea. It was one of our ideas. A little cut kind of going right before that second half of the drop hits, because I think it's a double length drop. Oh, and the cut at the beginning of it. That was Nellie's idea. I think the one in the middle might have been something I already did.
Wish I could make the hurt stop. I should've let it break me up. I got a hole in my heart. It tears me apart. The hole in my
And the delay. All right, so we got to talk about it. I mean, like, why not? So what's going on? Cut all the stuff that's not important out right there. You know, if it has a tail, automate it out. But keep some of this stuff, like keep some chords and keep that drop melody, this stuff. And of course, the big fill into it. Let me mute that for a second. So we just have that, right? And then the drums come in on the next bar. Along with like literally everything else, which is super dope. Big fill into it. Timbale fill from Splice, killing. Jason Nevigan down sweep, because why not? And all of this we talked about with the first drop, but if anybody's tuning in now, just for a quick review, we have low brass stabs sounding absolutely amazing, layered with keys and strings. Brass is from Serum. keys, maybe keyscape strings. I don't know. Nellie might have found those strings, so they might be stock or they might be Contact. I'm actually not sure. Okay, and then yeah, the drums, big like tropical kind of Latin groove, reggaeton perk. Let's see right here. Yep. Played in those like quirky hi-hats. Was telling that. Yeah. Good stuff. 2 snares layered. 2 kicks layered. Top and bottom. So one's the snares like clapping and one of them's just kind of the body of it. And then, of course, the extra loops for the bonus effect of just momentum. That guitar's from Omnisphere. And the other one's from Splice. Okay. Let's see here. Unmute all this stuff. So yeah, we're playing like with the keys there too. That's new. Super cool. And then, of course, our hook melody. Which again is two things, both from Serum, I think. Let me see. Yeah. So I think, what would we say? One of them is, I didn't think we talked about what they were, actually. So here we go. This is what they are. Cymatics on one of those plucks. The mallet. That sounds so good. And then the other one, the second sound there. The vocal thing. That's, yep, Chainsmokers from Echo Soundworks. Didn't really do much, just put delay on them to make them, continue and have that push. And that's really it on the second drop. When we get halfway through, I do the same cut. So here we go. And I didn't really aggressively get rid of everything there because I got rid of some of the stuff that was bothering me. Probably the stuff that was delaying because it didn't need to But I let it sustain there, and we just hit it again with the same crash. It matches with the lyrics as well, like right here. So the heart was just right in that space. Okay, it's the same. Ad-lib. And we go into the bridge, and I let the delay kind of tail out for that. I think this is a different timbale fill. Might be the same one. I actually don't know. I just cut it at the bridge, really aggressively. It's from Splice. Killing. Beautiful fill. And then we're in our bridge. We don't really do much here for the first half because we're taking it down.
I got a hole in my heart, the hole in my heart.
So she's just singing the bridge. We just kind of let it linger with the pad, the ARP that she found, and the bass that she gave me. And then we have this big build. Look at those sweeps down there. All right, sweet. So not much going on really. We just kept that stuff up. We didn't really add any instruments in the second half, just those drums. So we got the kicks on every beat, transitioned into it, and just one extra sweep that I do think is cool. It's a new sweep. We haven't heard this sweep before. Super dope. I just like that sound. That's just really cool. So yeah, as you can see, a lot of this music is just all about finding the spots to cut out. So we cut out there. You can see I kind of worked the automation on some of this stuff. And we just have these 2 hits. And yeah, not even the drop melody comes in until after. Yeah, just 2 chords, and then the timbales, and then we're in with the full groove again. that's just a copy of, honestly, like that last, probably second drop. I mean, same idea there. So, yeah, we did our middle cut again. The only thing that's different, I guess, that's added, I noticed it down here, is I actually just used this sweep in reverse. Pretty common practice here. So other than that, that drop is the same. It's really just about those cuts. Just cut to make room for that fill, I guess. For those who are watching and joined later, yeah, those vocals are down below. I worked and produced them to the acapella. It just was a little bit more convenient. And yeah, it was because we changed the tempo. These are actually, the song was at 90, we bumped it to 94. So obviously when I sent it to the mixer, he did all the sauce on it. I sent him all the vocals individually, and he was able to work with it. Okay, but yeah, that cool like delay throw, that was done down at the bottom. Right here. And yeah, we just stacked harmonies and we did, vocoder, for those who weren't watching earlier. Okay, I think the rest is the same. There's some cool, like, layers with the ad-libs down there. There's one, like, that's added. It's hard to hear, but it's like, what is it? Make the hurtin' stop. And then, like, let it break me up. It's just kind of there. They weren't there before, and they just add a little extra on top of what's going on, just like new melodies. So we're getting close to the end here. We're on our last drop. So yeah, as you can see, the takeaways here. Just big on the cuts, and in terms of just making the arrangement really just fat. I mean, the core elements, we got a drum groove. We got our, low stabs with the brass and the low piano. We got the, just the pads holding out the rest of it. And then just the effects, just to like anchor the rest. Ooh, that's the first time that happened. Oh, it's funny. I kind of like hinted at the timbali fill at the very end, because her vocal takes it out, I think. Yeah, so it's like da-da-da, in my heart, yeah, and that's the very end of the song. You can kind of catch some of those ad libs, oh, and then etc. Like oh, something like that in the middle. We got those recorded too. All right, there's really not. I mean, the production doesn't change. It's like we got something good on the first drop. We're just gonna basically keep it on the other ones. The only thing we can really do is just like cut some stuff out, make some like cool surprise cuts. One more time for the people who didn't catch it earlier. Breakdown of the drop is right here, and I guess we'll just. I mean, this one's got the cutout at the beginning, but it's fine. So. Drums. So honestly, that. 2 layered kicks, 2 layered snares, the reggaeton perk on the ba 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 ba. 3 different kind of hi-hat looking things, actual hats, and then 2 loops. One also kind of being the reggaeton perk loop, and then the other one just being like a quirky Tennyson loop. Also, the guitar from Omnisphere doing the, like, you know, muted. Plus the low stabs. Brass from Serum. I think the gray pack, Echo Sound works. And just regular piano and strings, you know, keyscape, whatever you got, honestly. Nellie recorded the guitar. Nellie gave me the Dream Dancer R, as well as that bass. So yeah, those are her elements. And then two layers for that drop chop, one being a vocal, one being like a melody thing. I think one's Cymatics from Serum, and the other one is, what is it? Chainsmokers from Echo Soundworks, also from Serum. So a lot of Serum on this EDM stuff. And then this pad was built into Serum. It's a great pad. And then lastly, I was trying to say, these keys from Keyscape, the JD800. And that's really it. That is the whole song. That is, I don't have much more to say at this point, you know. It's not a super complicated arrangement. The drop is the meat and potatoes. It's a lot of effects, and it's just a lot of like serving, you know, what's going on. Just a few like, it was really just about finding like cool sounds that just sounded really good, like the ones in Serum, like this pluck from Omnisphere. It's like a Turkish guitar that's from Omnisphere. Sounds great. Yeah, there's not too much more than that. Just finding the good sounding stuff. Questions in the chat. How did you get the bubble of your face like that? Well, Gohar, I had to look it up. I saw some other people who do these streams doing that, and I had to look it up. It's a little tutorial. I'm streaming this through OBS, and I think using Black Hole to get the sound of my Logic going in, and then using a platform called Restream to stream it simultaneously to Instagram and Twitch at the same time. And that is basically it on the rig. Yeah, not much else. I'm just got a talkback mic running in to like chat with you. If anybody has any other questions, I'm gonna OBS. I'm just gonna I'll linger. Really not much more to say at this point. I've gone out, and now my thing is going to cut in and out. But yeah, that's basically the Hole in My Heart track. I don't got much more to say on it. You're welcome to hit me up anytime, Instagram or whatever, if you have any further questions. I'm going to archive this stream if you want to watch it back later. So yeah, that's really about it. All y'all have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna head off for now. Is this video on demand somewhere? Like I said, I'm gonna archive this video. Last time I did a stream like this, I posted it to my Instagram feed, and so I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. So anybody who missed some of this can watch it back. What was the Rhodes sound I used from Analog Lab? That's a great question. I think it's over here. So let me see. That guy. Yeah, so, and I'm not doing anything except putting my Realm reverb on it. So it's the LA Studio Pop EP2. I don't know how I found it. I just was like looking for stuff, and there we go. So we ended up with that one. I like it. And then I use Realm on everything. So it's just extra reverb. It's just so easy. It's native instruments. It's so good, and it just goes on a lot of instruments and stuff to make them sound a little beefier. Okay, I'll give anybody who anybody else who wants to like ask a question, the chance to ask a question, and then I think I will wrap up the stream because I've gone through the whole thing, and I'm gonna put this video on Instagram, and anybody who wants to watch it can watch it. I think I'll put it on YouTube too. I think I did the same thing last time I did one of these. So that is basically it. Feel free to hit me up with anything else you want to know in a DM or whatever. I hope you all enjoyed watching the stream. And I'm going to let y'all get back to your days and tune in next time. I'm heading out. See ya!